Good morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. We appreciate listening. Feel free to give us a call at any time, 612-504-8400. Visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. We got all kinds of classes and activities. We stay busy, Kim, and I'll just point out a couple of them that are coming up here in August. And is August 31st, we have a Maximized Social Security and Medicare. Also the 23rd, the 25th, they're all on their website. Another class actually coming up, what to know before you retire. It's a dinner workshop. All the experts on the staff will be in the room. And we have our client appreciation event. I mentioned it last week. We love to give back to our clients. Charlie's on Prior Lake. We love to support the local merchants. And that's August 27th. So if you're a client or know a client, we'd love to have you. Fun food, fellowship, pontoon rides, live music. We like to have fun. See, retirees like to have fun as well, okay? Let's face it. So we'll have fun with them. No shop talk, just fun. You can kick the tires and find out what Haven Financial Group is all about. Celebrating 11 years this past, July, 11 years. So time flies when you're having fun.
That's terrific, Larry. Thanks very much. 612-504-8400. That's the number where you can reach the folks at Haven Financial Group. We want to talk about predictable income. Larry, you say that a lot of people that you help will tell you that the biggest surprise in retirement is the idea that you don't get a paycheck week to week.
Oh, resounding number one question all the years I've done this is, what's been the hardest adjustment, not getting a paycheck any longer? Well, think of it. All those years of getting a paycheck once a month, every 2 weeks, it was just years and years and years. And now all of a sudden, an abrupt halt. Now where does the paycheck come from? Maybe you're blessed to have a pension. Fantastic. So we really want to look at what are your income streams. If you're a married couple, both of you, why is Social Security such a big decision? And it should be an educated decision, which is why our classes were very well attended this past week, because people need to know, should I take it at 62? Should I wait till 70? What's the optimal time to take it? Recent studies showed the average American loses $182,000 of Social Security money by turning it on at the wrong time. We all have sometimes our preconceived ideas going into it saying, I'm going to sock it to the government, turn it on at 62. And that's probably not a good recipe for making decisions. Not probably. It's an absolute terrible way to make a decision, actually. So mailbox money, what are your sources? How do you generate in the most tax efficient way possible? And, at Haven Financial Group, we got a lot of retirees that need their retirement income. So over the course of every month, we're sending out millions of dollars direct deposit for their retirement income in the most tax efficient way possible, which is why it's important to have a discussion. What accounts do we draw from? What don't we? To max out the 12%, don't go too far in the 22, whatever that may look like. So these are the conversations that I and Kyle and the investment team are having because they're very, very important.
Absolutely. So Kyle, let's talk about what are some of the sources for that predictable income?
Yeah, one of the biggest ones is Social Security, right? That makes up a bulk of what people spend in retirement, if not all of what they spend in some cases. So that's a huge step for people. But then we have a lot of clients who have those pensions still. They're becoming a thing of the past, but they're still out there, and there's still companies like issuing pension eligibility to employees. So that can make up a lot of your income as well in retirement. Plus, pension and Social Security together. People who have both of those, that's typically all they really need to spend when we meet with those people. But those are the two biggest ones. But there are some other ways that you can get a guaranteed stream of income, and through annuities. There's income annuities that you can guarantee that. So it's basically like you're purchasing a pension. You may not be able to get it anymore through your employer, that pension, but you can take your savings that you made into your 401k, plus if your employer made any contributions, and purchase an income annuity with that. And it's effectively the same thing. So there are ways to get that guaranteed income stream. However, we have to determine what is the right amount for you, if there even is a right amount, because we don't want to have too many eggs in one basket of fixed income, because now we may, be minimizing our potential impact for appreciation of assets as well. So we want to have a nice balance between fixed versus variable in terms of how our investments are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example, actually, Kim. I'll give you an example. One of my clients, I saw him on my calendar earlier this past week, and I saw in the notes, and I know their situation because I've helped him now for quite a few years, that he's 70, his wife's considerably younger, and I saw that he wants to talk about income because he's worried that there might not be enough because they don't have pensions, they have Social Security. He's 70, his wife's a lot younger. He wants to make sure she's provided for well after when he's gone, and she's got very good longevity in her side of the family, and wanted to pursue, is right in the notes, an income annuity based on, in this case, $300,000-400,000. What could that generate guaranteed for the rest of their life? That was our conversation. That's what is going to give them peace of mind, because they're worried about income. Well, why not address the issue? Now, I say that, but then I often see people that don't need additional income, and then they have annuities for income, which is the wrong diagnosis. And we want to diagnose what is the problem, potential problem, what is the correct solution, and making sure we're maximizing that opportunity. That's what I see people fail to do, is oftentimes, unfortunately, the wrong diagnosis, and then they're not fixing the problem. They're just exasperating the problem, actually, which is making it even worse than it should be. So those are the things we'd like to address.
What about people who have IRAs? They have, they have 401ks. How do those turn into income?
So we have two options. One, you could purchase, that income annuity with those monies, or two, we can invest that in a portfolio that over time will grow and grow and grow. And within that portfolio, we can each month or whatever time period we want to decide to send money out to them. We can sell some of the investment, create liquidity with some cash, and then send it out to them while the investments are still growing over time. And we have our calculators can show that even with a sustainable withdrawal rate, your investments should grow over time. So that's one way you can create income, even though it's not a fixed income. And we do all these back testing and stress testing to make sure that the base amount of money that we're starting with will sustain those withdrawals. And, Larry brought up an example just right now, and it made me think of another one. We had just three or 4 weeks ago, a client of ours, he came in and he was getting offered a pension, monthly income stream, and they gave him the option of doing that or a lump sum distribution, and lump sum distribution meaning roll over to an IRA. And we looked at what the income was from that, and we compared it to an income annuity, and we could get him a much higher income on the income annuity than what his company was giving him. So if your company gives you a lump sum option, it's worthwhile to look and see what other options are out there.
Sure.
So we just have to, keep our options open and make sure that we're having those discussions.
Well, this is why sometimes you want a partner, right, Larry? Because maybe you wouldn't be aware. Right.
You knew exactly what I was going to say. Kim. We've been doing this a long time, I think. I don't know. The reality is it comes full circle back to education.
Right.
Having a partner that can educate you, because when we're throwing these words, annuities and income annuities and stuff like that, there's key terms that you're going to want to be familiar with so you don't enter into something that you may not understand, like annuitization, okay? Lifetime income riders. What's the fees associated with that? What kind of annuity do you have? It's why I teach a couple times a year the truth about annuities, an actual educational course for an hour and a half. If you're listening today and want more information on that, come on in and visit with us. We'll get you all the information, all the options, lay it all out. We want people to look at everything possible, all the tools in the toolbox. If you're listening today and you say, well, you know what, I might have one of those annuities, one of the 5 types that are out there now, and you don't know which one of the 5 you have, I call that come in and have an annuity exam. An annuity exam to identify good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. Here's what I have. Now I can deal with it. Maybe I can fix it. Maybe it doesn't need to be fixed, but we'll give you the details of what you currently have. You currently have it. You deserve to know how it works.
Sure.
And the problem is most people don't know how they work, and then they get an unpleasant surprise, which again, surprises in retirement aren't the best thing to be having as it relates to your finances and your future retirement goals.
Absolutely. Kyle and Larry have both given some incredible examples of how having a partner helped some of their clients make the right decisions when it comes to ways to make sure that you have predictable income. Something else Larry said that I think is really important, and Larry, maybe we could talk about this a little bit more in the next segment, but you also want to make sure that this predictable income is efficient and that you're not being eaten by taxes because maybe you're just drawing up too much money at the wrong times. So let's talk a little bit more about taxes and drawing your income and some myths about retirement that we want to debunk. That's all coming up in our next segment. 612-504-8400 is how you reach the folks at Haven Financial Group. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back on the other side. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.